Greetings, gardeners. It is Thursday. I'm on my spring break. I took off a Thursday and Friday in April because there's a lot of Monday holidays in January and February. And then but then nothing really happens until, I always mess up Memorial Day and Labor Day. But anyhow, so I weeded the plot, which was not too bad. Everything's doing very, very well. But I turned on the camera because I have a lot of baby brassicas. Back in that corner, there's some cauliflower and broccoli. There's a couple of cabbage. Back there's a few little baby ones. There's a red cabbage up here. I mostly put out for decoration. But I was looking at, in my book it said to be aware of cabbage moths. So these white moths that are flying around, which you saw in the beginning of the video, I talked about my collard greens, which are bolting. Very pretty flowers here. But I was reading in the gardening book, one of the advantages to keep the cabbage moths from laying eggs on the smaller plants is to keep plants like these that are blooming as almost like a trap crop. I have no intention necessarily of eating any of these collard greens. I pulled off and pulled out most of the greens that I was going to eat. I'm not sure, I have to look it up, if any of these greens are still edible, or what they're going to taste like off of this plant. Like there's a few off of this one, leaves that look really nice, and there's a lot up here. I might be able to get a couple of servings. But the point is that the trap crop, so they said that, and in the beginning of the video you saw there was a white cabbage moth that was flying around and very interested in these plants. So, sometimes if you leave some stuff left over from the fall, it has a beneficial purpose. Only thing I have left to do is spread this leaf mold. The community got our annual delivery of leaf mulch, which I'm distributing throughout my garden, my portion. I'm going to thin out the lettuces over here. I have I need to thin this out. My kale's doing really well. My little tiny brassica starts are doing great over here. Those three back there look really pretty as well. The other thing I figured out, one of the problems I had with this cover is that when you're trying to get in here and you're leaning, you can't get to it. But I just figured out, like over here, I just unplugged it from here and the joints turn. So I just opened that up like a gate so I can access this area. I'm going to plant some carrots in there, and that was really convenient. But yeah, so this is how it's going, which I think is very well. I reseeded my beets in here. And so it's April 16th. It's a day past average frost date. A lot of people are excited. It's like in the 80s and 90s this week. Everybody's rushing to get their stuff in. When I get home, I will show you what my plant starts look like. My tomatoes and eggplant are dying to get in here. They're actually bigger than the nursery plants. But I'm going to wait because it's going to go down to maybe 35 on Monday night. And, the traditional wisdom says to wait until Mother's Day. So that's the plan. I have a lot of peppers, tomatoes, eggplant, and beans to figure out some planting.
I just wanted to add some video here of the carpenter bees, which are everywhere in the garden right now. And yes, I'm very close. And if you don't bother them, they will not bother you, but this is proof of what good pollinators they are. Also, I've never seen a green bee before. This is a sweat bee. I looked it up. They're metallic green little bodies. Isn't she pretty? And I'm so grateful to see this little aphid eating queen grace my garden. She's going to hopefully feast on some of those cabbage. Ah, get back up, honey. Okay, here you go. Happy gardening.